Hey, I'm Alice Quinn.
And I'm Matt Garcia.
And this is Quintessential Comics, Episode 7, Book Club Edition, Spy Themed. I think it's just going to be it for the intro.
Hi guys, it's Matt with your news for this week. Let's see, everyone is still hungover this week, so there's not actually very much news. There's not anyone making news, and there's nobody reporting news. Anyways, out of DC, we have a tease. There's this woman was found randomly in every New 52 #1 issue, and people were wondering what's going on with that. And then DC put up this little teaser saying Pandora, so that's going to be her. She's either a new character or, you know, she's just a box and something. Also, Swamp Thing news and Animal Man news. They're coming together this summer in issue number 12 of each. It's going to be something like Animal Thing or Swamp Man. It's not going to be either of those. And Marvel news, we have Captain America creator Joe Simon died over the Christmas break. Rest in peace. He was 98 though. That was a good run. And yeah, so that's that. Kind of sad, but it happens. I mean, 98, really. And out of IDW, they are splitting the Transformers series into two new ones. There's and Robots in the Sky. And that's it for your news this week.
Hey, it's Alice with your upcoming events in Toronto. This week, Saturday the 7th, the second annual cosplay skate is being put on by the Doctor Who Society of Canada. So they encourage you to come, bring your skates, bring your Doctor Who costumes, or whatever costumes you want, for that matter. At 12:30 p.m., they're meeting at Fran's, which is a restaurant at 20 College Street. And from there, they will proceed to the Barbara Ann Scott / College Park rink. So check that out. It's a free event, but you have to bring your own skates because there's no rental. Also, on that Saturday, from 1 p.m. to 4, the Toronto Cartoonist Workshop is hosting a number of workshop series, and this one's called Dynamic Page Design. So if you want to make your pages pop, and improve your comic page layout skill, come, because Leonard Kirk is helping out with that workshop. It's only $25, but registration is needed, so sign up for that in advance. And that's at the Toronto Cartoonist Workshop at 587A College Street. Again, from the Toronto Cartoonist Workshop on Wednesday, the 11th of January, from 7 to 10 p.m., they are doing a figure drawing for the comic book artist. There will be a model there for you guys to figure draw, and Ty Templeton is hosting this workshop, so it should be pretty cool, man. Registration is needed, and with all workshops in this series, $25. So check that out, and those are your nerdy comic events for this week. Also, on another note, t.comics.ca has updated their calendar app. We got a different widget to use it, and it's like so much better, but the thing is we lost all of our old events. So if you look back to like last month, there's like no events because it happened, the things, they happen. So give us a little bit of time because we're updating the events calendar for next year and like the upcoming month and stuff. So yeah, all your comic news coverage stuff, t.comics.ca.
That's Matt again with your releases for this week. We don't have too much, again, like news, but from DC, we have Annotated Sandman Volume 1 hardcover. If you're into the annotations, there's pretty cool stuff. We got Batman, The Return of Bruce Wayne coming, and Seven Soldiers of Victory, Volume 1. That's it for DC. From IDW, we have Crawl to Me. It's a horror graphic novel, and that's everything, trade-wise. Image, we have Fearless. There was also another one, but nobody cares about it. So, Marvel has Avengers Academy Volume 2 and The Stand, Stephen King, Volume 2. And that's it for releases. Short but sweet. Enjoy.
Hey guys, welcome to the Quintessential Comics Book Club.
Hello.
Oh yeah. Today the theme is Spy. buy graphic novels. We do themes every week, and that's how we pick our books, because, I mean, there's like a zillion out there. So, yeah, I was reading a whole bunch of like really bad spy graphic novels, like, and then I was like, oh man, I remembered these awesome, amazing ones that we're talking about today, and I was just like, yo, let's fucking do it up, yo. Let's do it up! So today we were talking about Human Target by Peter Milligan, and I can't really pronounce his name. It's like Edvin
Biuković.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's never
Edvin
on the show.
Biuković. If he is, he can understand that I had problems pronouncing his name that one time.
If you're listening, Ed, change your name. Just
shorten it like Jim Zupkovich is.
Chuck Jones, that's not used, right?
No.
No.
what about Fritz Lang? I mean,
Just change his name to Hanna-Barbera.
Yes. Yeah, so this was also made into a television show that Daniel and I have seen. And we're also reading Sleeper, but nobody brought that in. That was my fault. I apologize. Sleeper, Volume 1, out in the cold. On the book club, we discussed the first volume. And then at home, you guys can catch up on all of them. It's just if we read all of the volumes every week, it'd be really intense for our book club readers. So, you know. All right, so let me make a little introductions. Let's get this ball rolling. Let's start off with Dave.
I'm Dave. I'm the cameraman / occasional editor of Quinntessential Comix, and happy to be here.
He's got mad skills, yo.
Yeah.
I'm Daniel. I know Alice. That's it. Yeah.
He's a cool kid. Malice.
I'm Tish. I'm also part of the book club, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Tish.
I'm Matt. I also know Alice. I'm also an alcoholic, and editing. I also do that.
You edit videos and articles, obviously.
And articles.
You're also the co-host of the show.
Probably should bring that up. I probably saw him earlier reading news and stuff.
Yeah.
That's Matt again.
Since it's up here, let's start with Human Target. What do you guys think?
I definitely liked the Human Target. I liked the premise behind it. I didn't see the show, but apparently it kind of diverged from the premise. And that's kind of what I liked the most about it. The way he's kind of this weird, fractured guy who takes other people's faces and eventually like takes over their life and gets confused about his own, which doesn't seem to actually, like, he doesn't seem to have that like group of friends you see in the series. He's kind of this weird loner in it.
Yeah. He's got his, like, protege.
Yeah, he's got his protege, and that's basically it. He has other regular characters later in the series, but in this one, he's kind of just like totally by himself. I found he wasn't very fleshed out as a character. At least that's my opinion.
That was kind of the point, right?
Yeah. Because he can be anybody.
Yeah.
I don't think he had a character to flesh out, and I think that was, like, part of the book was, like, at the end, he's just like, I don't even know who I am. What do I like me as a person? I know this guy likes baseball, and I know this guy likes, like, religion because I took their lives for a couple months, but who do I like, you know?
I think I know what he likes. Shooting people.
Shooting people.
He
He
also
likes
always
shooting
shoots
people.
He is a big fan.
Every day.
We also managed to find out that he's a weird kind of voyeur type.
Oh, yeah.
Because he likes to watch.
Reminded me of Peter Sellers.
It was almost funny enough.
I think it's a really cool character. I ended up reading a lot more of Human Target than I should have. I ended up reading all the other volumes. And eventually, they don't at all in this one, from what I can tell, bring him out as a character. But in the later installations, he's actually really cool. And they kind of bring out the fact that he's trying to like find out who he really is. And,
Who is Christopher Chance?
Who is Christopher Chance? And why does he have such a silly made-up name?
And why can't he have real sex?
Yeah.
No, he likes to watch.
I thought it was okay. I really liked the concept, but I don't know, the story was kind of iffy. The characters, like all of them, like none of them were fleshed out at all. they didn't really intrigue me or draw me in, but I would read the other volumes because I think this would definitely work better as an ongoing series rather than like the 4-issue like one part that we read. So that's how I feel about it, story-wise.
For those who really liked it, the second volume final cut was actually really, really good. Like, blew my mind.
Yeah, second volume recommended.
Very recommended.
Cool. Yeah, no, I really like how we don't even know what's going on. Like, they don't know what's going on, and we don't know what's going on, and we don't know their personalities, and they don't know their personalities. And it's just like his protege's name is Tom McFadden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his family's all like, "You don't even know us anymore, man."
And he's like, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I think it's a real credit to the creative team that, considering how little anyone in this comic knows what's going on, it doesn't really affect the reader that much. Like, at times it seems a little disheveled, like it goes from one place to another really quickly, but at the same time you can still kind of follow the story, while at the same time no one else knows what the hell is going on in the story.
Yeah.
Good job, Peter Milligan.
Yeah, I think he died.
Rest in peace, Peter Milligan.
Good job.
Wah.
Oh, now I'm sad.
I just my first experience with Human Target was the TV show, and as has been previously noted, way different premise. It's completely different. All in all, I really did like the book, and the volumes after it come highly recommended. But the soundtrack on the book, the soundtrack is not good on the book.
You need to add your own soundtrack.
Yeah.
I really like the soundtrack in the Human Target TV show.
Yeah.
At least the first
McCreary.
season.
Yeah. See?
Where's the record?
Record?
CD, whatever, yo. The
What are we,
soundtrack.
60?
Maybe. I didn't go into like a youth regeneration machine and to reclaim my glory days.
Yeah.
I'm not totally 60.
We just got weird.
You'll have to excuse us. We just came back from holiday.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. Anything else about Human Target, guys?
I actually really liked the assassin character, Emerald, and how, like, you have no idea what's going on with her, and she has no idea what's going on with her. And it's this, like, really, really weird meta thing where, like, she has another life as this, like, housewife, and her husband is writing these stories about this assassin, Emerald, and she, like, does the things in his stories. It doesn't make any sense. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I thought she was really cool too. I like characters that have like those names, like Emerald, and she wears green all the time. You know, like.
Did she wear green all the time?
I don't know if she does, but she should. She totally should. I think that's a really good name, and like I definitely like her scenes. And again, it really fits in with the she doesn't know what's going on, and we don't know what's going on, and nobody really knows what's going on theme that this book has going on.
And they needed their femme fatale. They had the, like, really boring, torn-apart wife who's always like, Tom, come back to me. You're Tom. I love Tom. And she's so freaking boring.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I
don't know why Tom would really want a real life. He could pretend to be other people forever, yo.
I'm kind of wondering why the wife, Becky, kind of wants Tom back. He's kind of a crazy person. Kind of a gun-toting lunatic. I was like, please come back to me, gun-toting crazy man. No, maybe you should move somewhere with your son.
Yeah, Becky.
Get a job.
Her name is Becky?
Her name is Becky.
It's Becky.
See, I didn't even remember her name.
Yeah, no, those Becky and Sam were pretty forgettable, and it was sort of like, why would you want this simple, boring life with these simple, boring people if you could be gun-toting lunatic and like off on secret missions and stuff? Like, you know, he has to find a reason to pull him back to his own reality himself, and I just don't feel like the family is the draw.
Well, he kind of had that draw, but he had the opposite draw. He ended up being more drawn to the Reverend's family.
Yeah.
Like, his connection to his own family ended up being transferred onto the Reverend's family, which was what caused him to kind of fracture. So clearly there's some appeal to him in the boring life, but he also kind of took over Chance's role. So
Yeah.
he kind of just absorbed what other people were doing around him and just made it his own. Hence, freaking lunatic. No identity whatsoever. Crazy man. Dropping Becky. You can do better.
Well, she did. She fucked Chance.
Yeah.
As Tom.
Yeah.
What happened in this book?
Weird comic.
Weird stuff. Lots of weird stuff. But it was good. Good times, yo. So would you guys recommend this book to your friends? Or to our viewers?
I would recommend reading Human Target as a whole series. Because just a little bit of this book is really good, but the whole thing, I didn't find Christopher Chance to be fleshed out in this one, but the other ones, he's awesome. Go Chance. Give them all a chance.
Give Christopher Chance a chance.
Yes. Alice?
Yeah, no, I picked it for book club. I thought it was pretty good. I've read, like I said, I've been reading a lot of really terribly done spy graphic novels, and it just reminded me about how to do it right. You know, even though there's a lot of mystery in it, and the characters don't really know what's going on. Peter Milligan portrays what's going on as a whole really well to the reader. So check it out.
Not this. I mean, like, you have to read this volume in order to understand everything else. But I would have to read the other ones in order to make an educated guess, because, as Dave said, the other ones are like much better, or at least the second volume. But this one didn't really float my boat. It didn't tickle my fancy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know what I read. The other one that I read, it was like 1 to 4 something.
Maybe.
Whatever. But they were more like episodic, so I think you can come in at any point, because like it kind of always introduces, hey, this guy dresses up in people and like gets shot, kills everyone. So
Usually everybody dies.
yeah, so I don't know. But again, I wasn't too impressed with it. So if you're really bored and looking for a spy book, do it.
So the second book we read for book club this month is Sleeper, Volume 1, Out in the Cold, by Brubaker and somebody else who did the art on that. You guys can edit it in the...
Some art person.
Yeah. I don't remember offhand.
We all forgot our book, so we don't have a book to show you, but there'll be a thing.
Okay. Yeah.
The art was really good, though.
The art was really good.
Kudos to whoever drew it.
It was really pretty.
Serious.
Anonymous artist, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Can we all just like lip sync something so we can put it in later?
The art done by. No, Sleeper was really cool. I enjoyed Sleeper. I'd read it before. At least I thought I'd read it before. I definitely read it way back in the day. So many things were very familiar to me, but I had to reread it because, or if not, I would have been talking about Criminal this whole time. But
Yeah.
But no, Sleeper's really, really cool. I like it. I like that it's a story set in the Wildstorm universe, but you don't have to have any of the Wildstorm knowledge for it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have read The Authority. It helps, because that was pretty cool. You don't have to read Wildcats or anything like that to appreciate the story. Just, it doesn't look like, from holding on to it like in a comic book shop, it doesn't look like it's going to be involving any kind of superheroes. It really does look like Human Target, Criminal volume, where no one has superpowers, but then everyone has superpowers, and you're just pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I felt that way too. I felt like the superpowers wasn't the focus, but it was like a plus. You know, a lot of superhero stories focus on that. You know, and this was a spy book first, and then superpowers were just sort of tacked onto that, but not in a tacky way, in a good way.
Tacked on in a non-tacky way.
To me,
I like it.
It feels like if Superman was just about Clark Kent using his superpowers to be an awesome reporter. That's kind of what it feels like. Like, the superpowers help, but they're not plot important. But in a good way.
It seemed like even though there was superpowers, everyone had a real personality. Because in most superhero books, Like there's some kind of tacked on, like I'm a hero no matter what, I'm not going to kill people kind of mentality that no one would have ever. Like that wouldn't
there's
work in the real world. I think the only person that even kind of resembled that at all was that character of Turbine, and he gets killed off almost immediately.
Aw, Turbine.
Suck it, Turbine. Boring character. You get blown up.
Yep. So the story centers around
Holden Carver.
Holden Carver.
Again,
And-
another strange name for a protagonist.
It kind of
Holden? I don't get the Holden. They
Like,
had the
Holden
same thing
Carver.
in
It sounds like an instruction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone out there
Sounds
with the
like
name
what you-
Holden, you've just been alienated.
Yeah. It would.
If only people named Holden weren't alienated enough. Catcher in the Rye.
The name,
That's what I was
Same
thinking.
person.
Too literary for this book.
Yeah.
Fuck it out.
the name sounds like name sounds like what you'd tell someone who was taking too long to carve the turkey.
Holden Carver.
Yeah.
Without hands.
Okay, so the character, that was pretty
That
awesome.
Bad name.
Yeah, so his character,
Quite the character.
Yeah, he's really cool.
he likes to watch.
I think if we're, he doesn't like to watch. He likes to interact to an almost nightmarish amount.
No, that was Christopher Chance. I got that
Christopher
mixed
Chance
up
likes
in my
to
head
watch
because
it,
I
yeah.
read them at the same time. Yeah, no, so him and Miss Misery, which is another cool character, they're both...
They're banging.
No, I know that. Prodigals. I can pronounce it. Prodigals. And they're pretty much high up in their spy organization.
Yeah, the prodigals being the second level up from Tao, who's the big bad. Maybe we should like just make the point. Holden Carver is a sleeper agent from a government organization.
Yeah, but
put inside this thing.
you're supposed to have read the book.
They're supposed to have read the book. Yes, true.
No, you can give them a slight.
Slight synopsis. Tao's this big overlord, and he's, I think, my favorite character out of it. Tao is crazy.
He's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
He's this like genetically engineered super intelligence. He's like Lex Luthor if Lex Luthor was like an adolescent kid who wanted to just screw around with America and the world.
But fix it.
But fix it. I don't think he wants to fix it. He's just nuts.
No, it's explained like right at the end of the thing. Like, the whole reason is to
Fix it by killing lots of people.
Like a 3-year-old would fix his Legos that wouldn't stick together by smashing it with a hammer.
Yes.
Yes.
And then rebuilding it.
And then rebuilding it.
I
making
don't
Then
know.
Legos,
buying new Legos.
melting it down and turning it into Technic.
A lot of sociopaths give the
Tao is
excuse
doing
that they were fixing things.
Yeah.
So think about that.
Yeah.
I really like the characters in this one. Like, compared to Human Target, they're a lot more fleshed out, and I feel like I know them a lot better. Holden can't feel things because like of his power. So him and Miss Misery, they get it on. They have like a whole bunch of like violent, angry sex. It's crazy. And then run around doing missions and stuff. What was your favorite parts, guys?
It was really weird. I didn't like it when I first started reading it because I'm just like, oh, this is another sort of like detective thingy with like a lot of internal dialogues. I'm like, oh crud, this writer like is trying to be the next Frank Miller or something, because sometimes that internal dialogue really pisses me off. But and then you get into the superpowers, and I'm like, man, this is just like Powers, or it's just like Top 10, which are also things with cops, and everyone has superpowers. But then you do really, really get to know the characters. The characters are really, really fleshed out. They're interesting, they're fun, they're people that I would want to have a beer with, especially Miss Misery. If only she wouldn't kick the shit out of me every time we got drunk together.
Or every time you didn't.
She'd basically just kick our asses. Let's face it.
All of them
if we
would.
met anyone from this comic book, they would kill us without a thought. Of course.
Well,
we would
nerds.
witness their existence and be murdered immediately.
Yep. That's why we're not part of spy graphic novels. Because if we
True.
were, we wouldn't be here.
We'd be fiction.
Maybe we're extras.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Some
Extras get killed, yo.
I know.
Especially
some superhero fight's gonna burst into this room.
None of us are wearing red though, so we're good.
Yeah, if this episode never goes live, it's because we got in the middle of a superhero fight.
It's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
Okay,
we
we're good.
just
We're
didn't
good.
like it.
All right. More about Sleeper. My favorite part, obviously, was when Turbine bought it.
Do they bring him back in like flashbacks later,
Turbine?
or is it? Yeah,
No,
They don't
he's,
care.
I think there's another character. I don't know. Maybe if I'm thinking about it from the
No, there's a
later
different
volumes
version.
that I read after. That he's like some sort of like big tank dude. It's really funny. Maybe that's later on. Okay,
that-
ignore
Are we talking
me.
about Turbine or Genocide?
Genocide.
Genocide
That's
was
it.
definitely
Genocide was
highlighted
one of my
by
favorite
yeah.
characters.
He was
That's
really cool
fantastic.
because like he was like big in a tank, and he was also like really funny, and he had like a super awesome sense of humor. So like like they're blowing shit up and killing people, and he's just like, lovely day, isn't it?
I think what was really cool was they kind of showed all the different sides of Holden's life. Like he had his like professional relationships with like people in the prodigals and stuff. Then he had like the two drinking buddies and Triple X-Ray, who was also awesome, and Genocide Jones. And I thought it was really cool that like they just showed him in a bar getting messed up with his friends occasionally, just for the hell of it.
Yeah, it
Because he
wasn't
was
all.
so immersed in his like.
It wasn't all spy stuff,
Yeah.
like there's other parts to their lives, and that was a large part of the story.
Occasionally, he's having sex with Miss Misery, or hanging out with his buds. But then more often than not, he's shooting people in the face.
Yeah.
He's good at that though.
He's good at that.
Good at shooting people in the face.
Do what you love, the money will come.
If you could put that on her.
But he doesn't always shoot him in the face. Sometimes he has to use his power to kill them.
That's true. He has electro thing.
I
was
did
not very
not.
clear on that.
I did
Yeah,
not.
I like how their powers aren't super clear what their powers are and stuff, because like that's not the focus of the book.
Yeah. He redisperses his own pain. He's got like Wolverine style healing, but at the same time he doesn't experience the pain, but he can make others experience his pain that he had.
Yeah.
I think was the general
The
gist
thing
of
that-
it.
Yeah.
But his pain
nerves
experience
are
was like
covered
electric.
with stuffing.
Well, it just looks like
Absorb-
that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And
And
it
then
would
he
just be kind of lame if it was like.
Which is really convenient because whenever he needs to like get out of a jam or something, he's just like which is kind of
If this guy's beating his head against the wall, should we stop him? No, that's pretty much harmless.
I did enjoy his partnership with Miss Misery and Jones, because basically his power could be activated by her activating her powers.
Yeah.
So like she wails on him for a bit with a 2x4, and then suddenly they're both wicked strong.
and then they just do it.
They just do it.
Afterwards.
Perfect.
Yeah. I also enjoyed the fact that Miss Misery falling in love with him eventually made her less powerful. Like she starts getting sick because she's in love with this guy, and
It's just like you gotta have the pain. You gotta be in misery.
Yeah.
That's
Well, the sad thing is that, like, I know it's doomed, and I know that, like, they're not going to end up together, most likely, because one of them's going to bite it. and
or
it's-
both of them.
Yeah,
They're in the spy
everybody.
business. Let's be honest here.
yeah. Wah, wah. Well, she's technically not in the spy business, because she's not a double agent. She's just a
Evil.
criminal of sorts,
Yeah.
thingy-mabobber.
I'm kind of hoping. I haven't finished Volume 2 yet. I'm pretty sure I read it back in the day, but I don't remember every bit of it. But I'm really crossing my fingers because Wildstorm got absorbed into DC, so I'm hoping Sleeper stays asleep. I don't want to see Holden Carver in a Green Lantern comic ever.
Oh, God.
That would be awful.
Yeah.
Like Grifter and Midnighter and all of them are hanging out with Martian Manhunter. No.
So like he's never we know he's a sleeper agent, but he hasn't been activated.
Yeah.
I think they keep that for most of the story. I think it's like they.
He's undercover, but his original undercover is his like handler goes into a coma, so no one knows that he's undercover, and he's trying to
And his
figure out a
handler-
way back, but
Yeah, but he can't.
he can't, or
Doesn't
won't,
want
or
to.
doesn't want to. It's kind of
He's in too deep, man.
He's in too deep,
Yeah.
and
Why
he
was he
might
like
start.
that?
He
I
started
really-
liking it. He's got Miss Misery and stuff. Why
He's
wouldn't
like,
he stay?
Yeah.
I really, really liked how that ended. Just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm staying this way.
Yeah.
It was a nice change from the general like double agent sort of like undercover cop.
Yeah,
story.
it's like, you know, like I want to get back to my family, you know.
I also like the fact that Tao kind of insists that he knew the whole time. I like to think he did. Like, he just knew, but he was like, screw it, I know.
Yeah.
So, you know, why not just keep this guy? He's good. He's doing good work for me.
Yeah.
So let's just keep this double agent on. And then seduce him to the dark side at the end due to a lack of options
Or
and psychological breakdown.
Yeah. I like the idea better that he didn't know, but he just said he did, so we could be like, whatever, I know everything.
I feel like I'd do that if somebody was like, "You knew, didn't you?" I'd be like, "Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, I knew.
yeah."
And I love that Holden didn't have like the traditional like family at home when he wasn't a sleeper agent, because then they would have been like Becky and Sam from Hugo Target. Just like, oh, come home to us, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Though I did like his ex-girlfriend showing up, and the first time his ex-girlfriend sees him, she shoots at him.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's how I
that's
respond
what
to my
Becky should have
exes.
done, honestly.
That's how I respond to all my exes.
Yeah.
Just
Keep a Mac 10
yeah, totally.
for exes.
Just for exes.
Just like a taser.
In a glass
just
case
like-
that says break glass in case of X.
In case of X, break glass. Nice. So would you guys recommend this to our readers, our viewers?
Absolutely. Brubaker's awesome. It's
For show.
for sure. Definitely.
Yes.
5 stars.
And there's such a good like cliffhanger at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's how you should, like, if you're not going to do a self-contained, like, trade paperback, you should have a nice cliffhanger like that. That was a good cliffhanger.
Hang that cliff, as I always say.
Yeah.
It's actually his sidekick in Bond 2.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger.
He gets his special powers from jumping
I'm
off
kind of
the tall
stoked to read Volume 2 now because of your possible giveaway of the idea of Genocide Jones coming back as a human tank. Sounds pretty awesome.
As a human tank.
I don't know if that was just like that was metaphor.
We
You were just
cut him
like,
in
is he
half,
kind of like a
stuck
tank
him on
or
a
is
tank.
big?
No,
But I
no.
kind of want him to be like
But it's
Bone
only his
Crusher
bottom
and
half
Tank
because he got shot in
Man.
the chest.
I'm not going to burst your bubble on that because you seem to having
Yeah.
fun
Oh,
with it.
yeah, don't
Bring
ruin
him back
this
with
for
like
me.
a pair of legs with like a tank.
Tank truck. Yeah, you can have a turret for a face.
I love it.
Who wouldn't want a turret for a
You can call him
face?
Turret Face.
New code name.
Then he gets angry at everyone who mispronounces it as Turd Face. Causes more bar brawls.
And then just blow shit up.
Yeah, and he goes back to genocide.
I think if Genocide was ever to get into a bar brawl with like dirt on his face, he would just, have to call an ordinance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would just literally destroy the bar
Yeah.
with his
Yeah.
face.
He'd you and me outside. Now go back in. I'm going to shoot my tank shell at you.
Turret Face, copyright David Lidstone. I'm going to write that if it doesn't exist.
Do it, yo.
Our space is close enough.
No, Turret Face. Turret Face is just a regular guy, wants to have relationships, but he keeps blowing stuff up with his face.
I like it. I'd read that.
I'd produce that. So check it out. Sleeper, Ed Brubaker. Freaking awesome series. We recommended it. I'm just going to let Tish have her moment. There was a whole bunch of other recommendations for this spy episode of a book club. One that was like really big that I didn't do because it's like should be a whole episode on itself was Greg Rucka's Queen and Country, which is like the anti-Bond sort of cool thing. It's like MI6, but like they're just trying to do regular things and try to be regular people, and then they just like, oh shit, I gotta go to Moscow. So that's pretty cool. You should check it out. And if you have recommendations for book club next month, write them in the comments below, or send me an email or a tweet or whatever. We hope you've enjoyed this book club conversation, and catch you soon. So thanks for joining us this week on Quintessential Comics. We hope you enjoyed our special spy-themed book club. If you've got recommendations for a theme or books for our club next month, send them to me or leave them in a comment. I'll see it. Have you enjoyed this episode?
Very much so.
Yo, man, it's been great. We hope you've enjoyed it too, and we'll see you next week on Quintessential Comics. Hey, I'm Alice Quinn, and you might be thinking, what are you doing back here? You just said goodbye. But I'm here to tell you all about the ways you can support T.Comics and me, Alice Quinn, and Quintessential Comics. If you like this video, you can go to YouTube where you found this video, or click on the YouTube button on the embedded page on T.Comics or wherever you found this video. Click on that, press like on YouTube. Simple. Let me know you like it. Or if you have specific feedback, please do comment. You can also find this on T.Comics under, if you search up Quintessential Comics, it'll come up with a list of all the episodes, and we're still going to have a dedicated page for that website. You can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/T.Comics. You can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/T.Comics, and those are all my personal tweets as well. So enjoy. And thank you so much for tuning in and watching Quintessential Comics.